There was a woman whose world was falling apart, piece by piece. Her dreams, once vibrant and full of life, were now crumbling like dry leaves. The sky above seemed darker. The earth beneath felt hollow. And in that endless silence, her hope was slowly dying. She had no job, no money, no one to lean on. Each morning, she opened her eyes, only to face another battle. Her little daughter, her only light, looked up to her, innocent, unaware of the storms. And yet, deep down, she feared losing even that tiny spark. Nights felt colder, longer, emptier. The silence screamed louder than her own thoughts. She would sit, staring at the darkness, wondering if there was a way out. Breathing itself became a burden she carried every single moment. And yet, in that suffocating darkness, she clung to one thing, her story, the only thing that still felt alive inside her. A story of magic, of hope, of a boy who lived, and somewhere she believed this story could save her too. It was a story about a boy destined for greatness, unknown to the world. A boy who had lost everything, yet was meant to save everyone. As she wrote, it felt like she was telling her own story, hidden in his. Maybe, just maybe, the world needed to hear it. She wrote, whenever, wherever, however she could, on torn napkins, in noisy cafes, or under a flickering streetlight, her freezing fingers, trembling lips. But her heart kept pouring words, because deep down, she knew this story was her only escape. Every word she wrote carried a piece of her soul. It was more than just a story. It was her pain, her struggles, her dreams, pages soaked in invisible tears, hopes screaming through ink, and with every line, she fought to survive one more day. But reality was brutal. Unpaid bills piled up, stomachs went empty, and her daughter stared silently. Every passing day pulled her deeper into hopelessness. And yet, she forced a smile, because what else could a mother do? Many nights, she cried, silently, unseen by the world. Staring at the sky, she asked the universe, "Will my story ever be heard?" Her voice trembled, her heart broke, but the question remained. And in that loneliness, she found her strength once again. One day, with a trembling heart, she gathered the courage. She sent her story to publishers, not once, but again and again. Every rejection stabbed her deeper, tearing open her wounds. Yet, something inside her refused to die. 12 publishers turned her down, laughed, mocked, told her, "This will never sell." She sat, numb, shattered, her dreams crumbling once again. But a tiny voice inside whispered, "Try, just one more time." And that one last attempt changed everything. The 13th publisher read her story and felt something. For the first time, someone saw the magic, the pain, the hope within those words. They said, "We'll publish it." And in that moment, her world shifted. It wasn't just a book. It was her heart, her soul, bound in pages. The world read it, cried with it, smiled with it, felt every emotion, and slowly, the woman who once had nothing, became a name the world whispered in awe. The story of the boy who lived became a phenomenon. Harry Potter was no longer just a name. It became a world, a home for millions. And she, the broken woman, became J.K. Rowling, a name. She often sat, looking at her past, wondering, how did she survive? Life had tried, again and again, to break her, but her pen, her story, had saved her. And today, she breathes, not just for herself, but for every dreamer. They say, rock bottom teaches you what heights never can. She lived that truth every single day. Her scars turned into her power. Her pain became her purpose. And in the end, she won. Not just fame, but her life back. She became a beacon for every broken soul, every shattered dream. People looked at her and whispered, if she can, maybe, so can we. And that was her real victory. Today, her books are in every corner of the world. Children, adults, old and young, all found magic in her words. And yet, deep down, she remains that woman who once fought darkness alone. Her success wasn't just about money or fame. It was proof that even the darkest nights give birth to the brightest stars, and sometimes broken dreams build the strongest people. She often says, rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. And every time she says it, millions feel their own story being told, because somewhere we all have faced our own rock bottom. The woman who once couldn't afford to buy milk now owns castles, but the real richness is not in the castles, but in the journey she lived. She taught us that no matter how dark it gets, there's always a way out. And sometimes the darkest paths lead us to the brightest places. Her pen became her sword. Her story became her legacy. And in every heart that feels hopeless, she planted a seed of courage. And now, as you listen, maybe you see a bit of yourself in her story. Maybe you too are fighting a battle the world can't see. But trust me, the story isn't over. Your magic is still writing itself. Her story is not just hers. It's ours. It's the story of every dreamer, every struggler, every fighter, and every time we feel broken. Her journey reminds us, hold on, the magic is coming. And maybe, just maybe, your story will one day light up the world, because no pain, no struggle ever goes wasted. So, live today. Breathe. Smile. Dream. Because nothing lasts forever. Not even the pain. And who knows? Maybe tomorrow is where your magic begins. Life is unpredictable, but sometimes that's where the magic hides, in the unknown, in the unexpected. So today, if you're struggling, lost, or broken, remember, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise.